أهلا بحضراتكم ولقاء يتجدد وجناب السفير. وكلامنا النهاردة هيكون عن جمهورية الفلبين. جمهورية الفلبين مجموعة من الجزر بتتعدى 7000 جزيرة. علاقات المصرية الفلبينية، الجالية الفلبينية الموجودة في مصر، العلاقات والتعاون في مختلف المجالات بين مصر والفلبين ثقافيا وفنيا وزراعيا وصناعيا، والتجارة والتبادل التجاري بين مصر وبين الفلبين. يسعدنا النهاردة أن يكون معنا سيادة السفير سولبيشو كونفيادو، سفير جمهورية الفلبين في جمهورية مصر العربية. Nice to meet you, sir, and welcome in our program, جناب السفير.
Thank you very much for having me.
First, I wanted to talk about the cooperation between Philippines and Egypt, about the culture relations, about culture cooperation, about Filipino arts and the cooperation in this field.
We are very glad of our ongoing cooperation with the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, the Office of the Assistant Foreign Minister for International Cultural Cooperation, and with the Ministry of Culture, especially the Foreign Relations Office. And we have been cooperating with them since I arrived in 2018. We had an evening of Filipino classical music in October of 2019, which we held at the Cairo Opera House with the support of the Ministry of Culture. Then, of course, we had Lasa One in our residence, where you were be able to cover that, and we had the December 8th Filipiniana Fashion, Fabrics and Flavors. So we have been doing this in close cooperation with the Ministry of Culture, most especially.
You insisted to have a special occasion and culture occasion here, a Philippines occasion in Cairo.
Yes.
I saw that. So we'll talk also about Filipino arts and about the main characteristics of this art.
So we have a rich tradition also of Filipino classical music, of course in our own native language, and we have a lot of range of dances, from different islands, from the 7,600 islands. Some of them have been, from even pre-tribal dances. We have dances influenced by the Spaniards. Muslim dances also in the south. So we have a variety, even musical instruments. We have what we call rondalia, and then from Muslim Mindanao we have kulintang, which use a lot of string and drums. So this is something that we are looking forward to share with our Egyptian brothers and sisters, especially during these 75 years of our diplomatic relations. In fact, we have a culture program planned this March, which will focus.
You have a big Philippines community here in Egypt,
in
Cairo, in Alexandria.
We have about 5,000.
They worked here. Many Philippines ladies married to Egyptian men.
That's why if you, of course, you were not able to attend last December 8th, but a number of our models are young second-generation Filipino-Egyptian children. The mothers are Filipina, the fathers are Egyptians. So we have quite a number working in the hospitals, private international hospitals here. Of course, as we have discussed earlier, we have a lot of Filipino chefs and a lot of Filipinas working as managers in the different restaurants of the five-star hotels. We have people, of course, working in the household service sector. We have people working in the maritime sector. So, although this is small number
the
compared...
Philippines also have scholarships here in Cairo?
We have about 700 students who study in the Al-Azhar University. And this cooperation has been going on maybe as early as 1958. So we send a lot of students, quite a number of students from the different areas in southern Philippines, yes.
سعادة السفير كلمني في البداية عن العلاقات الثقافية والفنية بين مصر وبين الفلبين، والحقيقة أنه في جالية فلبينية كبيرة جدا موجودة هنا، وأنه في كل المناسبات بيحضر عدد كبير من الزوجات الفلبينيات متزوجين من رجال مصريين. لذلك الأطفال زي ما سعادة السفير بيقول أن هم نص فلبيني ونص مصري، فالحقيقة أنه الامتزاج بين الثقافة الفلبينية والثقافة المصرية موجود، والسفارة الفلبينية والفلبين حريصة على إقامة العديد من المناسبات الثقافية في الأوبرا أو في أماكن مختلفة الفلبينية هنا، علشان يحصل مزج بين الثقافتين المصرية والفلبينية، وعديد من المعارض وتذوق الأطعمة المختلفة الفلبينية والأزياء الفلبينية. وإن زي ما قلنا قبل كده أنه كتير من الطهاة بيعملوا هنا في عدد كبير من المطاعم والأوتيلات المصرية.
There are two values intrinsic in our culture, intrinsic in our society as Filipinos, that we bring with us wherever we go. There's that value of kapwa, or meaning our sense of the other, our concern for other, that we exist in this world, we live in this world not only for ourselves, not only for our families, but for the rest of our community. And that as we journey in this life, we do not journey alone, but we journey together as a community, as a society. The other important value is the value of compassion, or in Tagalog it means pagmamalasakit. That welfare of that other person is also my concern, and her interests or his interests are also my interests. So that is why these two values is what we bring wherever we go, to our place of work, to our community, whether back home in the Philippines or here in Egypt. For Filipinos, work is not just a source of income. Work is vocation, because it's our way of giving back to the community the blessings and the graces that we have received, and generously sharing them with others. So that's why Filipinos have become known, and in any other profession that entails interacting with people and with groups and organizations.
We Filipinos carry our heart on our sleeves. So we really are excited to deepening that relationship with the people of Egypt, that bond that can tie us together, and work for the betterment of our two peoples, not only here in Cairo, but also in the Philippines. We look forward to discovering the beauty, the love of your people and our people. This is the one thing that will endure our relationship with each other.
So we'll talk also about the role of women in Philippines,
Yes.
and especially about your wife. I saw her; she's very positive. She's very nice woman.
Yeah, we have a lot of, special place for our women. Of course, they are the heart of the homes, no.
Yeah.
But also professionally, just like my wife. Before I joined the Foreign Service, she had her own consulting company, and she was.
I saw a very nice relations between you and her.
Thank you very much.
MashaAllah.
We have been married for almost 35 years now,
Yeah.
going 35. As you know, we have two women presidents already.
Yeah.
In 1986, President Corazon C. Aquino, and then later on,
1986.
President Gloria Macapagal Arroyo in 2001. So the highest office, highest public office, we have a lot of women in Parliament, and of course in the business sector, even in sports. So the variety of
you
roles.
have Parliament members.
Yeah, both. We have a upper house we call the Senate, and the lower house, the House of Representatives. So we have quite a number of women representation in both houses of parliament.
الحقيقه سالت سعاده السفير عن دور المراه الفلبينيه ومشاركتها، فقال لي الحقيقه انه ليها دور يعني كبير جدا، وانه على مدى السنوات كان في 2 من رؤساء الجمهوريه من السيدات، وانها بتشارك في جميع الانشطه. وزوجته طبعا انا كلمته عنها لان انا شفتها الحقيقه، وشفت قد ايه العلاقه طيبه بينهم، وفي احترام وفي دور لكل واحد فيهم وبيساندوا بعض. فقال لي انه احنا متجوزين من سنوات عديده جدا، وعلاقتنا فيها تعاون كبير، لانه الزوجه هي يعني المسؤوله عن البيت بشكل كبير. So we will talk also about the commerce cooperation between Philippines and between Egypt, and the cooperation between Egyptian Federation Chambers of Commerce and Philippines Chamber of Industry and Commerce.
Of course, the volume of trade is not really that big as of now. The potential, the highest that we had about 2011, about 100 million. Right now, it stands about 14 million. So, but there is a lot of potential, as I said earlier. We're trying to increase cooperation in agriculture and fisheries, and maybe even furniture, because there's a long-standing arrangement between the Cairo Chamber of Commerce and the Philippine Chamber of Commerce and Industry. But we're trying to jumpstart this and focus on food, which is really a basic commodity for both our countries. So we're trying to increase the exchanges. In fact, in our last meeting with the Ministry of Trade, we're trying to organize an online familiarization seminar for our 2 ministries, and of course for the business sector. So to not only about the products, the agricultural products, but also quarantine requirements, entry and exit requirements for food and exports and imports.
We'll talk also about your stay here in Egypt, especially in Cairo, since 4 or 5 years?
No, 2018, yes.
2018. So what about it, and about your staying here in Egypt? What's your favorite food here, your favorite dish?
Falafel.
Falafel, طعمية.
So, we try to, as I said, try to visit as many places as we can. As I said, we visited Aswan and Luxor. We have been to Alexandria, of course. We love Alexandria. It's a very beautiful place. Of course, here in Cairo, we have been to the pyramids and to Old Cairo. And, of course,
museum, Egyptian Museum.
Egyptian Museum, Khan al-Khalili.
Khan al-Khalili.
And then nice we visited the monasteries because, we're Christians. And we learned that, monasticism originated here in Egypt in the monastery of St. Anthony the Great. So we visited that and the 4 monasteries in Wadi al-Natrum on the way to Alexandria. So we tried to learn as much, absorb, because Egypt is a civilization, a very old civilization.
You came to Egypt before you are coming as an ambassador, or
no? This is the first time.
First time
We've been to Cairo, and it's really a rediscovery for us also as Christians that the church here is very old. Christian community is old. I think year 30.
سعادة السفير بيكلمني عن وجوده هنا في مصر من 2018 وقد ايه هو سعيد في مصر ومعجب جدا بالآثار اللي شافها. راح الأهرامات، زار اسكندرية، راح المتحف المصري، كثير من المزارات الدينية المسيحية هنا في مصر القبطية. وكمان يعني هو ليه صداقات هنا موجودة في مصر وسعيد بوجوده هنا في مصر. So we'll talk also about Philippines relationship between Egypt and the Philippines last years. What you are going to go right now?
As I said, we're focusing also on cultural exchange, especially as we celebrate our 75 years. And then, of course, trade in food and agricultural products and furniture. And also tourism is one thing that we want to explore, people-to-people exchanges. So hopefully when the...
What about education cooperation between Philippines and Egypt these days?
Right now, it's focused on our students in Al-Azhar. So we're trying to strengthen that and build on that. and maybe expand to new areas for education and cultural exchange with universities. We're trying to explore sister city arrangements between Port Said. As I said, our national hero went through Port Said and the Suez Canal in 1882. So we're trying to establish a sister city arrangement with Port Said and at least the hometown of our national hero, so that there will be people-to-people exchange between the Port Said and maybe Port of Manila, so that even at the local level, we will have a lot of exchanges between our
If we're going
peoples.
to speak about the lifestyle in Philippines and the family traditions, about festivals, about celebrations, give us a brief about that.
Philippines is known as maybe the center of festivities. We call it fiestas or festivals. So, because every community, to celebrate the lives of their patron saints, or in each province also to celebrate, a bountiful harvest. So we have a lot of festivals throughout the year. That's something that we are known for. And then we try to share. It has become a tourist attraction, especially before the pandemic.
What are the famous festivals in Philippines?
We have, Ati-Atihan Festival. It's a very tribal in central Philippines. Then
It's a national festival?
On a national festival. Yeah. So we have a lot flower festival in our summer capital, Baguio City. Then we have on the patron saints the Holy Infant. We call it Santo Niño. It's celebrated every January in Cebu, which is one of our oldest city in the Philippines. So it's both religious and secular festivals that we.
What's your traditions in every festival? You have to dance, to eat, to listen to music, to stay with your family?
Usually in the communities, especially in the smaller communities, you open your house to your neighbors.
Yeah.
So everybody prepares their specialties. There's music. We have bands playing music. You have dances. You have contests in those small communities, and a lot of activities, concerts in the evenings. So it's fun.
You love to dance and
yeah,
sing?
we love to dance and to sing. We're known for that.
Yeah, I know that. We will talk also about your diplomatic stations before you're coming to Egypt. As you told me, you went to India, you went to Japan.
Yes.
But Egypt is the first Arab country you come in.
My first foreign assignment was in New Delhi in India. We were there for 4 years. Then I was transferred to Berlin, Germany.
Germany.
And then, of course, as part of our rotation, you have to go home, back home.
I know.
2 or 3 years. And then my next station was Tokyo for 6 years. And then home again. And then Vienna, Austria, where I served as the Deputy Chief of Mission and Consul
What's your
General.
impression about these countries?
Well, all of them are, really very nice. I'm not speaking only as a diplomat, but that's our honest, my wife, my son, and myself, my own impression. Every country is unique. And we're very glad that we have been to 2 of the oldest civilizations in the world, Egypt and India. And of
Which
course,
of them are you enjoyed more?
Honestly speaking, we enjoyed all of them.
All of them. You are diplomatic. It's a diplomatic answer.
Yeah, but honestly, they're really great countries to be assigned to and to serve.
So Egypt is the first Arab country you come in?
Yes.
your impression about Egypt before are you coming?
Well, as I said, we are not very familiar. We know, of course, that Egypt was a very old civilization and a lot of historic sites, but it's not. It's really different when you're actually on site and really feel the people. You know, you listen, you see, you taste, and you touch, and it's really a privilege. Honestly, a very privilege for us to be assigned here.
What about your family life and your wife and your you have son or daughter?
We only have one son. He's now based in France, in Paris. He works for the United Nations Environment Program. She's married to a French lady, so and Madame Priscilla and I are very happy. We are expecting our first grandchild in the next few months.
Congratulations first.
But we only have one child.
Yeah.
And he has been with us in India and in Germany and studied abroad in the French school. So it's one of the blessings of being assigned, being in the diplomatic service, that broadens the horizon not only of ourselves but also for our children, because they get to meet people from different cultures, from different traditions. So.
They studied many languages.
Yeah, his mother language is French, actually. He speaks French, German, Spanish, and English, of course.
سعادة السفير الحقيقة سألته عن عيلته وعن حياته الشخصية، فقال لي إنه عنده ابن واحد وهو زوجته هنا بيقيموا في القاهرة، لكن ابنه بيقيم في فرنسا، متزوج من فرنسية، وهم الآن بينتظروا وصول حفيدهم بالسلامة. وإنه طبعا في ميزة كبيرة إن هو كان بيعمل كدبلوماسي، إنه الأولاد بيشوفوا ثقافات مختلفة، بيتعلموا لغات مختلفة. وكلمني عن وجوده في مصر وعن وجوده قبل مصر في الهند، في ألمانيا، في اليابان، وإنه قدر يتعرف على ثقافات وعرف وعادات وتقاليد مختلفة واستفاد من كل هذه التجارب. Finally, thank you for this nice speech. We know very much about Philippines and about your diplomatic career, and welcome always in our program.
Thank you very much, and I hope that the next time my wife Priscilla will be able to join me.
Of course,
so
we wanted to
she
see
could
her
personally
and
share
welcome
her
her
insights and
she's always welcome.
And impressions and her reflections of our brief stay here in
She's
Egypt.
a very nice lady. She has a positive energy.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you. الحقيقة في النهاية شكرنا سعادة السفير، وإن شاء الله في المرة القادمة تكون زوجته معاه. الحقيقة هي شخصية لطيفة جدا وبتشع طاقة إيجابية في المكان. في نهاية حلقتنا النهاردة بنشكر سعادة السفير سولبيتشو كونفيادو، سفير جمهورية الفلبين بجمهورية مصر العربية. اتكلمنا عن الفلبين، عن العلاقات المصرية الفلبينية والتعاون في مجالات مختلفة زي الثقافة، الفنون، التجارة والصناعة. واتكلمنا عن ايضا وجود سعاده السفير في مصر لسنوات عديده ورحلته قبل ما يجي مصر، وعن حياته الشخصيه، عن وقفات كثيره. بنشكركم، ودايما ثقافات مختلفه بنحاول ننقلها لحضراتكم من خلال جناب السفير وضيوفنا الساده السفراء من دول العالم ومن مصر. شكرا والى اللقاء.